Orazzi, really. But Bryan Cranston has a small role in here who we love because he's in Breaking Bad, best show arguably on television.
Yes.
How prominently is he featured in this?
Dude, almost as much as everybody else.
I mean,
fair
you
enough.
see how many names we're listing off.
Yeah.
You can only get so much screen time.
Elliot Gould, John Hawkes. I mean, the Dimitri Martin. There's so many people.
Yeah,
in this
when
freaking
Dimitri
movie.
Martin shows up, that's a big WTF moment. It's
Yeah.
like, wait, Dimitri Martin's a lab assistant? So we were waiting for, like, Zach Galifianakis to show up.
Yeah, I was like, who else is comedically innocuous that you could just put in?
It's like,
It might be partially because, Soderbergh's announced that he's winding down his film career. But, like, this is the
So
beginning
he's
of
just
the
looking
end.
for sharks to jump?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Enter Dimitri Martin.
he's going to go hang out and get high with Kevin Smith?
Actually, he wants to be a painter.
Oh,
That's adorable.
precious.
I know.
Mickey Rourke wanted to be a boxer.
He's prominently announced that he's leaving film after his biopic of Liberace and the Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie. But who knows?
Those two sound awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they do. At the same time,
Make them the same movie. That'd be even more awesome.
that's probably a good point to go out. And like everybody else who ever says, I'm quitting performing, and not because of how old you are, he'll be back in like 2 years.
I was about to say, is he like Streisand quitting, like Michael Jordan quitting, or is he quitting?
Has there ever been anyone who ever really quit outside of being like 90?
Yul Brynner.
Sean Connery.
Yeah, but
Heath
he was
Ledger.
like 90, so that doesn't count.
yeah.
Heath Ledger.
Stop it. Death, disease, and advanced age are options that are not available in this
So
discussion.
you're saying he's going to pull Skeet Ulrich?
Yeah, but
Make a big deal about quitting and then come back and start directing cat food commercials.
and no one even noticed that Skeet Ulrich had quit. Was a sad part. Oh, Johnny Depp, what are you doing? I'm Skeet Ulrich.
Well, yeah, I just hope he doesn't quit before we get the Piano Man from U.N.C.L.E. because that sounds amazing.
Piano Man from U.N.C.L.E. It's going to be a fabulous spy movie.
So, I mean, it's weird though. You watch this trailer and it feels like it's an exciting thriller, but from what you guys are telling me, it sounds like it's more of an examination of what would happen.
No. Well, you know what? To me, it started out like the first half of it felt more like an examination of what would happen.
It boots you right into it, too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it immediately gets going.
You do jump right into it, and it was kind of almost so procedural that I was starting to like kind of fade out. But then it jumps to where things escalate to the point where, okay, there's riots in the street. Like, I mean, I found it a little annoying that basically when the plague hits, human beings are going to turn into fucking animals, except for Matt Damon.
Well,
Yeah.
he's gonna stay cool.
He's Matt Damon.
Yeah, he's Matt Damon.
Can you picture him freaking out and losing his shit?
No,
really?
no. While everybody else is freaking out and killing each other and robbing each other and stealing food,
Him and George Clooney are pulling a long con.
he's he's that one guy who goes, "Hey, don't do that."
Ben Affleck shows up at the door, and he's like, fuck off, Ben.
You have 15 days to get a place, get off my couch, get your life back together.
Right.
But from that point on, it's almost like a sci-fi movie, just showing what happens with the breakdown of society,
Right.
And and Jude Law, who starts off as kind of like a freelance blogger who nobody pays attention to, he's able to gain a lot of media fame and power to whatever end, where even the government like springs a trap on him to say like, "Hey, fucking cut it out."
That's actually what happened to Corey.
Yeah, we got to trap this blogger. We're going to put all our country's resources behind it while we're all dying of a disease in the street.
Which is one of the things that makes it science fiction. It's like, all right, that's about enough for
Did
that.
Soderbergh get outed by some blogger on TMZ somewhere doing something bad? Is he like got an axe to grind right now or something?
You know what? And now that you mention it, it did give me that feeling the way.
That's why he's going to hang out with Kevin Smith.
Right.
They're going to go busting blogger ass.
It's like when Roland Emmerich or M. Night Shyamalan stopped their movies to go like, "We hate critics and they're terrible." It's like, yeah, but you just did it in your worst movie. So
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan didn't stop his movie. He said, this is what the movie's going to be about for the next 20 minutes.
Oh, you're right.
I'm just imagining what the bait on a blogger trap would be, like a never been removed from box Millennium Falcon or the newest season of Doctor Who on DVD.
Ooh, where?
Snap.
Right.
My leg.
My biggest complaint with the movie is that I thought it kind of ran out of steam. It just seemed to wrap up with a whimper, and it's like, I don't want to give anything away, but it really just it didn't end it just kind of sputtered out.
Huh. Much like the human race would if this happened, I suppose.
Well, maybe not. I mean, you got to have more faith than that. But Jason, you're right. I mean, at a point where when it gets towards its end, because like I said, there's so many plot lines, so many characters, and yet I didn't feel like I got a satisfying resolution on any of them.
Yeah.
But there is the last part where it could turn it all around. It could link it all together and make it mean something, and it just does not carry the ball over the line.
Huh.
Yeah, it didn't escalate quickly enough. I mean, which is weird because the disease itself escalated pretty quickly, but the impetus of the story really just kind of eased you into it so slowly that you never felt any shock. You never felt any gut punch that you should have. And then it just kind of eases you back out of the drama.
It's weird because they're selling it like a thriller, almost a horror movie.
No,
really,
no,
as far
not
as the
at all.
marketing goes, but that's not what it
No,
is.
no,
I mean,
it's
is it
not.
a cautionary tale?
Not real. I mean,
Nope.
I mean,
Don't touch shit.
yeah.
Well, you shouldn't touch shit. That's probably
And,
true.
it is the kind of thing
How
where,
we all
like,
die.
if its message is to, like, say, hey, everybody, be more careful, use hand sanitizer, they're catching it from such innocuous things. My brain just goes, there's no way you can protect yourself.
Or-
Yeah, unless you're acting like Bill Murray, and what about Bob?
Right.
I was going to say it's like Dawn of the Dead, directed by the host of Double Dare.
The host of Double Dare.
Well, it sounds like the disease is just like can do, will do anything. Like really, whereas anyone who knows even anything about science in this, you'd say, well, how could you catch it from all these different things? That doesn't even make sense.
Well, it was
would
very
be
grounded
that.
in science.
Was it?
From what I could tell. I'm not a doctor. I do sometimes play one.
Yeah, go ahead,
when
play.
Ryan
You're
is really
not a
drunk.
doctor?
Play one right now and tell us, is this scientific?
Yes.
That's it from
As-
Dr. Murphy.
As compared to Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead with Mina Suvari, very, very scientific. Tight science.
1 out of 1 doctors agree at spill.com. Yes. Contagion is very
Now that I know you're
fucking
not actually a
scientific.
doctor, Murph, I think we need to have a long talk about last weekend.
Well,
Awkward.
Too late now.
you haven't gotten the bill yet, have you?
I tried to tell you gynecology was just for women. You would not listen. Anyway, what do you guys give this? What's your review of this?
Man, it is hard for me to rate this.
Really? Why is that?
Because I'm not sure where to put it. Like there's part of me that goes like, well, it's a low matinee, and I would give it that because how technically well it's done. But
Solid performances all around.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne playing a nice guy. I know, really.
Take the red pill and you'll be cured. Absolutely. Take
Yeah.
the blue pill. Hey, you'll have
I
a
was
great
just
weekend.
waiting for him to spout off with some faux poetry, like, we'll just see how far this disease wants to go.
I like
Nice.
that.
there is a lack of that.
They find out it all came from the gap in his teeth.
Yes.
That was how it started.
So from
Floss, Larry, floss.
from watching it from that point of view of how well it's done, I'm like, okay, those points I might give it a low matinee, and yet story wise it just really just did not satisfy me at all. It just did a lot of things that I was just kind of going like, wow, really? That's you're okay with putting that out there? So I don't know.
Gotta pick one.
I know I got to pick one. I'm gonna go with a high rental.
A high rental. Wow. Okay. What about you, Murph?
I would go with matinee because the performances never once, from all of the actors that are in it, it never once rang false. And it was very well made technically. It gets you right into the action. I just think the pacing's a little bit off, and there are too many characters. So, yeah, matinee.
Well, it's a shame because it sounds like there's a lot going for this, but somebody needed an editor.
Yeah, well, since he's Soderbergh, he probably doesn't answer to a lot of editors.
No.
I think he's probably to that auteur point to where he doesn't get bothered with that.
You got to hand it to a guy who's lived his career saying, like, you guys don't want to let me do the movie I want. I'll just go do it by myself. And that's exactly what he's done his whole career.
Well, he clearly has like a lot of pull with big time celebrity friends who will work for whatever price he's willing to pay. But it kind of can work in reverse, in that if you get a big star somewhere and they play a tiny role, it throws you off as a viewer.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, they're dead already? that person?
I know they're not a big star anymore, but I'm reminded of a Christian Slater in Star Trek 6. Do you remember?
Oh,
right.
yes.
I was like, what the fuck are you doing in here?
Yeah, they made a big deal about it.
I don't know what I'm doing here either. Where's Alabama?
Hey, Captain.
You're not Jack Nicholson, Christian. Stop.
Exactly.
Or we will. Oh, that's it. You're out of the industry. The only person who'll watch you now is Leon.
Hello. I need you to get me the names of everyone who serviced this room. It's an emergency.
You can't panic now.
I know.
I'm gonna get you home.
I got people too, Dr. Cheever. We all do.
Don't talk to anyone. Don't touch anyone. Stay away from other people.
Get back in your car. We're not sick.
It's figuring us out faster than we're figuring it out.
It's mutated.